Okay, my studio normally faces down the garden, so with a desk under the window, so that I can look out the window while I'm musing. But it's in disarray because up in this corner, a lot of water started coming in where the pointing had gone on the outside of the house. So I had to move everything around so that the desk that's normally under the window is against the side wall, and I'm currently in the process of about to start redecorating, so I'm stripping the room down. Okay, so before radio silence ensues, because I stripped everything out of here, I thought I'd do a quick demo. This here is the display on my screen of a demo of a track. It's called Spadge. It's from quite a while back, and using a MIDI keyboard I input every note of the drums on the different tracks. You've got the intro tick, cymbals, hi-hat, kick drums, snare drums and toms, and I put that all in sections at different velocities to suit a sort of basic drum part, so that Nick knows what to learn for the band. And then I put in a prog rock bass, or I write a basic bass line down first of all in MIDI, and then replace it with real bass later on. And then I put in fiddle parts, and it says polka accordion, but that's the melodian part for Steve. And then I put on vocals and guitar parts last, because they're audio tracks, not MIDI. And the bass, of course, gets replaced by real bass, and I pass it on as MP3s to the band for them to learn their parts, sending them a whole track overview and their individual part, so that they can hear the kind of thing I want. Of course, anywhere where they want to embellish or add or subtract, they're very welcome. And that's how the McFarlane Band tracks get put together. This one kind of goes really basically. Created an audio track to put in real bass, and as you can see, it's blank at the moment. I've got my bass strapped on here. Here it is. It's going into a thing I've got hanging on the wall here, which is just something I can do sort of amp modelling with. It's supposed to be on the floor, I just noticed. And that's wired in to Focusrite. It's going in that input there, and I can control the volume. And because there's no live mics for recording the bass, I can play the track back through the speakers and happily record with all the full sound in the room. I've added a mixer section onto my screen. I've armed the track. It's now flashing red and all ready to go. If I play a note, you can see it's registering on there, and basically I'm all ready to go. I can play the track back, and I can go. Apart from that, that's not how the bass line goes. That was hard to hold the camera and play the bass and play that back at the same time. So let me just put this in a different position. Having set the bass track up and got the speakers on, I can play it back and press record. Off we go. showing you the sort of waveform thing. I've done it from start to finish, and above it is the original digital bass line that was kind of my guide when I was putting the track together. So I can go on that, highlight it all. Now it's all highlighted in white along the top of it, and I can press delete. And I can press delete again because it says prog rock bass, it's highlighted. And that track is gone for I could recall it if I want, but I've now got a bass line that sort of flows in and out of the notes rather than my rather staccato keyboard playing effort from before. So Martin's got a much better idea of how I want him to play that bass line. Then I can create a track. I'll do mimic exactly like the last one. They both call themselves bass because I just copied the two tracks there. I'll make that guitar 1. And the other one guitar 2. There we go. And I'll go and put the guitar parts on there, and I'll create another track after that one. I've got to make a new audio track on input 1 on my thing over here, and input 1's got a microphone going into it from this preamp. Okay, my guitar is plugged in and it goes down to my pedal board. It's got a tuner in and an echo and some reverb, and then that all is in the effects send and return of my amp, and the front line here is 2 different clean boosts and a slightly grittier effort and a sort of more distorted, if I want it, effect. And that front row goes direct into the input of my little tiny Hughes and Kettner amp, which on the back of it has a switch to make it give an output that emulates a speaker, and that comes out with an XLR cable. It goes direct into another input here, and that goes into the recording setup to the guitar bits, that just like I did with the bass. So once again I can play back. There's no microphones involved. I can play back to my heart's content to that backing track till I get it right, and then I will move on to the mics, and with the microphone here I will sing a vocal part into a track where I've created for Vox. I might even put some effects on it, a bit of reverb, a bit of echo, whatever, a bit of compression, and then the whole thing will be a completed demo that I bounce down to an MP3. Of course, when I come to record the vocals with this microphone and its pop shield, I have to have headphones on because I don't want the speakers on when I'm doing the vocals. I'll play the guitar through the rig that I showed you, and I press record, and it goes. I've now recorded a rhythm guitar part underneath the bass line. I've done it on electric, although it'll probably end up being the acoustic guitar part that I play. So I'll just play a bit of it. I'll jump in somewhere in the middle. About there. That's all you need. Now I'll play two guitar parts. The tune for representing the fiddle, and I'll probably do the harmony part to that, which is what Steve will play in harmony with Anne's fiddle, because I'm just mad about twin lead instruments, so it'll be fiddle and guitar. Now we input the lead parts, the fiddle part, which will go over the track, like this. And so on. So I've now recorded two parts, the melody that the fiddle will play and the harmony that Steve will play on the lead guitar, and they a bit like this. Obviously I haven't mixed it to the right proportions yet, but that comes later. And the track below that is where I will now put the vocals. Okay, I've now recorded the vocal. It's this line here, one verse, two verses, a gap, and there's the third and final verse, chorus. So we've got the melody for the fiddle to play, Anne's part played on a guitar, panned one side, and the harmony to that, which Steve will play on lead guitar, panned to the other side to make it easier for them to hear on the overview. And then when they get an individual copy, each band member will have both their part accentuated on one MP3 and their part totally missing on another MP3. So they've got one to learn from and one to play along to. And that's how we assembled our tracks for all the studio albums we made. Bear in mind, this is a demo and not a studio recording. It's a demo for the band to learn from, but basically it sounds like this at the moment. There were those I knew, never had a song. From clad eyeballs and Eve, they would raise their young, huddle fluttering fun. After dust bath play, they would fall on grey, we'd spill in our working day. Old friends that were familiar, so close to everyone. Where have they gone? Where have they gone? The widespread once abundant, it seems their time has flown. What have we done? What have we done? So it ends, if I move it to the end, you can get the last little bit which goes. So the band have got the ending mapped out for them as well. Hooray!